Louisiana versus all y'all. Jarrett Roser here with Franklin Parish star Dezyrian Pook Ellis, a guy who we had on the channel during football season when the Patriots were doing some really big things on some Friday nights, and now on a Saturday, some new big news for Pook, who is already kind of holding off that smile a little bit. But LSU, man, LSU offered you yesterday at Junior Day. You're the first Franklin Parish guy since the school became a school in 2005 when the schools in the parish consolidated to pick up an LSU offer. And so we're going to talk about all of that. But just, I mean, first off, how does all of that feel? How did yesterday go? What's the excitement level like right now?
It feel good, man. Like the excitement level is through the roof right now.
Talk me through the day a little bit. You and two of your classmates that you'll be seniors this fall, Tavon Bell and Chris Addison, made the trip down to go through the Junior Day. And obviously, I mean, some great athletes from all over the state and some guys from outside of state that were there. And you're one of just a few guys that comes away with the offer. So kind of talk me through the process and what that moment was like for you at the end of the day.
I mean, like when we first got there, we was just vibing. We was, everything was going smooth. And then towards the end, I kind of felt it, I felt it in the air. And once the defensive coordinator called me over there and told me that I had off, I couldn't do nothing but smile.
Yeah,
I almost gave him a hug.
Well, don't hug Coach Baker too close right now. He's in that sling. You don't want to hurt him if you get too excited. But yeah, Coach Blake Baker, the DC, and Coach Corey Raymond, the cornerbacks coach, who you had a chance to see just a few days ago when he was on the road and came through Winsboro to see you guys. What was that conversation like? You talk about just kind of feeling the energy in the air and kind of a sense that this was the moment as it was unfolding. What did they tell you that they liked about what they'd seen from you so far and what you could potentially do as part of the program down here in Baton Rouge?
Really, really my size and like the way I can get along with the people. It's like soon as me and Coach Corey met, we kind of locked in.
Talk me through the fit a little bit. I know Corey offered you to come be a DB there, and we'll talk some more about the versatility that you bring to a football field. We'll kind of get more into that toward the back half of the conversation. But in terms of what they told you from a football ability and what they think you can bring to that group, what did they have to say so far?
It really wasn't much. It was just a brief conversation.
Got you in terms of the actual football stuff, the specifics. So I mentioned we'll get more to some of that stuff later, but this moment for Franklin Parish, you and I, for a Franklin Parish guy, you and I were texting some yesterday that you're probably going to be getting back home to a lot of excitement and people that were really ready to celebrate that moment because it's just a step in your process, but it is a really big historic step for you and for that community to be able to celebrate. And you're a guy that when you started high school, you had big expectations for what you and your classmates could do. What has it meant? What has it meant to see some of that unfold, to see you guys win some big games this year, win district for the first time, be a deep playoff run team. And now for you to be a guy that's recognized by LSU, an SEC school that everyone in the state knows, and they look at you and say, you're as good as anybody in the state, anybody in the nation. We want you to be a part of that. We want you to be a part of this. What has that meant for you to see some of these dreams start to become realities?
It just means that everything that me, Chris, Tavon, working with Coach Adrian Burnett, like coming from freshman 8th grade, it shows that everything we did from then to now is paying off.
For you from the college side of things, because I think we talked some about it in terms of what y'all could accomplish on the high school field this fall to kind of when you could see some things falling into place. But when did you realize for you as a recruit that you were going to have like that? I guess that you were kind of starting to see it pay off. You were starting to see it unfold. Do you remember a moment where it clicked? oh shoot, these dreams we had as kids are starting to happen. Do you remember when that light bulb sort of started to go off a little bit?
Well, really after the Cavalry game this year,
Mm-hmm.
after like I just snapped after the game, I just snapped, and I realized like I'm different. Like ain't no way that colleges don't see that.
And then obviously they did. What's it been like these last couple of months? I mean, to have one college after another reach out and either offer you or want to see you come visit them or get to camp or whatever the case may be, just to see more and more of it unfolding really quickly over the last couple of months.
I mean, it feels good. Like it feels great.
You messaged some about what's so special about LSU. Talk me through some of that a little bit. To be a guy growing up in Louisiana, to have LSU recognize you, what is so special about that? I mean, I think people kind of know, but I want you to have an opportunity to kind of share what it means to you in your own words to folks.
I mean, like when you're younger, you don't want to move from one school to another, right? Because it's different. But like with LSU, it feels all the same. It feels like home. It feels like it's Louisiana, so it's not that big of a change from where I'm from and there.
What do you remember about watching LSU growing up, from a football standpoint specifically? Do you have certain games, memories, moments, players that you really liked, that kind of first caught your eye down there in purple and gold? What are some of your memories about that place that stood out from the football side of things?
I mean, I remember watching Jay Jettas, Jamar Chase, Derek Stingley, and Odell. I like Odell. I remember
You
watching guys like that grow up and wearing that purple and gold. And I still look up to those guys.
They're all doing huge things, obviously, on Sundays now. To
Right.
be a guy in Louisiana that you have coaches, in some cases, like Corey coached Sting,
Mhm.
to have coaches that are at that level and say they think you can follow those footsteps of guys you watched as a kid and you're watching now on Sundays. What does that mean to see that confidence level that they have in your ability long term?
It means that like it means that I can be in those guys' shoes one day. I can be like one of those guys. That I had the chance, and Coach Corey believes that I had a chance.
Tell folks that haven't had a chance to watch you, what are these LSU fans that are maybe starting to check out your huddle for the first time, figure out who you are, because now they're thinking, okay, we've got a pretty good chance to keep this guy in state here, and we need to know who we're getting. What do you feel like you're bringing to a football field right now that kind of sets you apart, makes you an all-state guy, makes you an LSU offer guy? What do you think is kind of what is setting you apart as a young football player specifically?
On the field, I'm a dog. Like I work all day. I'm gonna work, and when I work, I'm gonna work to the fullest. And off the field, off the field, I'm a I'm just a funny guy, fun guy. I'm gonna keep everybody around me laughing, joking. I'm gonna keep them, high. If I see somebody low, I'm gonna bring them up.
What I saw you kind of have to tell somebody, hold up, I'm on the phone, don't come mess with me. What is the mood, the vibe been like for, I mean, for folks as you did get back, kind of like we talked about, just family excited to see you and celebrate it and everything, and any of your other teammates that weren't there for it, just kind of talk me through the last, I mean, 24 hours essentially of people reacting to this.
I mean, it's been crazy. It's been crazy. Like soon as we made it back to down here, people was calling my phone. When I was seeing the people, they was excited. It was a fun moment. Like who just walked up, that was my cousin. He crazy.
how and I mentioned we'd kind of get into some of the more football stuff of the position dynamic. You've been a quarterback there, and you've taken next steps as a young quarterback for the Patriots. You were an all-state guy this fall, and I know that's a position where you have a lot of ability, but we've obviously seen you have a lot of ability to do a whole lot of things on the football field in different spots, as well as in other sports and everything. How do you feel about the conversation of, hey, we think you could come be a great DB here, when it's something that you haven't done a whole lot of yet, certainly not on Friday nights, but how do you feel about that fit and what they're seeing in you to make that move?
I mean, it's not that big of a deal because like me, I can play any position on the field. So for them, if they offer me an offensive line, I wouldn't care because I'm gonna go do that.
I feel like you're safe on the offensive line dynamic. I don't think they're going to ask you to make that switch. I think Corey likes you too much as a potential DB. What are you, as you continue to ramp up your recruiting process here? I know LSU is going to be a school now that all of these other schools that are recruiting you have to feel like, man, it's going to be tough to beat LSU, but you still have a lot of stops ahead of you. You've got several other exciting offers. What does the rest of your offseason look like in terms of, places you may be trying to get to? And I'm assuming you'll probably be back in Baton Rouge at some point here in the next couple months, and as well as what you want from a school before you make an announcement here going into senior year. What is important to you to figure out about all these schools and to feel about the one that you eventually commit to?
When I look into a school, I look into a place that feels like home. By home, I mean the people that's running the program, the people that's around the program, the people that's inside the program. I look and see how like how they look at a kid and how they treat a kid.
So really, I mean, relationships, the big
Relationships,
priority for you over any of the other stuff right now.
yes sir. And Coach
How do,
Corey
how,
got a great relationship.
Yeah, that was my next question. How are you feeling about the relationships so far with Coach Corey Raymond, who you're having a chance to meet a few more times now? Coach Baker, banged up Coach Baker in that sling right now, but a guy that has known your Coach Burnett for an awful long time. How
Right.
are you feeling about just the early vibes with those guys?
I mean, it's great, man. Those guys are like they good guys. They great
No,
guys.
no doubt. Anything else you want to share before I let you get back about your Sunday?
Um, nah, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, there you go. Well, look, congrats again, man. And
Thank you.
again, for folks just getting a chance to know him, you're getting a little glimpse of, he mentioned the off field, the good vibes and funny guy type deal. But Dezyrian Ellis is also a little bit of a killer on the field, as we saw from some of those Friday night films and numbers he was putting up. So again, Pook Ellis up there in Winsboro at Franklin Parish, historic offer from LSU. A big moment for him, a big moment for the community, and for Louisiana versus all y'all. Jarrett Rose are very excited to have a chance to visit with him and tell that story a little bit.